Hello, lovely souls. It's Sonia here with Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. Thank you so very much for joining us today. This is episode 58, and today's episode is all about how to manifest more. And it actually starts with a story from over the weekend. But before we get there, I want to check in with you and see where are you at? How are you enjoying these podcasts? What is it that you want to hear differently? We talk about meals, movement, mindset, and money, and I mix it up. You really never know what you're going to get, right? You pop in each week and you're really not sure. But I would love to hear where you would like to hear a little bit more information on which particular topic, any of those subtopics. Let me know, and I will definitely dictate a podcast to what it is that you're looking for. All you have to do is send me a message at Sonya, SONYA, at freshapproachfitness.ca. I am Canadian, and I would gladly add that to my portfolio of deliveries for you. I also have a little bit more exciting news before we get started. My books are in. Woo-hoo! The very first book that I did. And I did a picture and put it on my social media feeds. You can find me at Sonia Janice or at Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company, on all of the different platforms. So it's either one or the other. And so this was a collaboration. And so I only did a chapter, which is a starting point, right? We are a number one, actually we're an international bestseller. And you can find us on Amazon, but I actually have 20 copies here on hand that I am willing to sell you. I will be giving some extras away. So you want to stay tuned for those draws. But really, I'm selling them for $20 a copy. So if you're interested, just let me know. Anything that you buy on Amazon, I'll be honest, I don't get any of the proceeds for because of the way it's set up. So that's why I bought a bunch that I could send out. So I can start to recoup some of my costs and make a little bit in the books, to be perfectly honest. But I'm really excited. This one was called Thriving and Not Just Surviving. And it was my reason for doing network marketing. So it's not the area or the topic of the podcast today, but I wanted to share that exciting news for you because when we manifest something, when we think about what we really want and we slow down enough and listen to what's coming into our life, we get exactly what we're looking for. We're going to dig a little deeper to this. So the second news is the weight loss challenge is about to start. The Spring into Action Weight Loss Challenge is about to start. It's actually starting tomorrow, which is going to be June 1st. And I know you might not hear this in time, but if you do, or if you pop in a week late, it's a week challenge. Sorry, it's a 6-week challenge. These are amazing. It's unlike anything that you've ever seen before. We actually do so little focus around the scale. It's more about mindset. It's more about meals. It's all about healthy habits and tips and changes. So I invite you to bring your friends and join on board. Again, don't worry about being a week late. You're not going to miss all that much and you can catch up on everything. So that's out there. We've got 2 entry levels. I will highly recommend that you do the second level, which is the mastermind. It is not expensive. You get so much value for $75. Plus, you get 6 weeks of workouts included and a recorded of the Healthy Eating on a Budget workshop that we did over the weekend. So you get that all with the mastermind on top of the 6 weeks of group coaching, on top of the competition fees, and there are prizes in here. Absolutely. Okay. One more thing I wanted to mention before we go too far today is you missed me last week. Actually, I missed you last week. It was a stat holiday here in Canada last week. It was our Victoria Day holiday long weekend. And I try so hard to get my podcasts up to date on the weekends. But I've always found, and you're probably the same, you've heard me talk about this before, when there's a long weekend and an extra day of play, if you would, versus productivity, we spend a lot more time trying to catch up on those other days so we can appreciate that time off, right? Whether it's before or after. So I got myself caught in a little bit of a whirlwind, and you've heard me say this before, I am human. I am normal, and I do sincerely apologize for missing last week. And I will say this moving forward. Be prepared that if it's a long weekend in Canada, there might not be a podcast. I might not get a chance to do it. But that's okay. Again, you can catch up. I do, this is this is something I want to be doing a lot more of. And I do have a little bit more exciting news to share before I forget. But every once in a while, it's going to slip, right? Every once in a while, you can count on probably 46 podcasts throughout the year, maybe not 52. But I promise you they are well worth it when you settle in and listen into them. And you can understand that if there's a gap for a reason. I need that space. One reason or another, I need that space. We've talked about this before. How many hats are we all wearing, especially to the lovely ladies listening to this, and the gentlemen as well that are listening to these podcasts? How many hats do we wear on a daily basis? So I'm a spouse, I'm a mom, I'm a stepmom, I'm a grandma, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, I am an employee, I am an entrepreneur. Those are 9 different hats I wear on the daily. And it doesn't excuse what I do and don't do. Believe me, I'm not justifying, but I have to pause for a moment and put all of that into perspective. And every single role, every single one of those hats dictate, as well as my personal expectations that is in one of those roles, plus other people's expectations that are in those roles. So when there is a moment of overwhelm, or a moment of much too much, or a moment of I need a break, I have learned to pause and to let that break happen so I can be even better when I do show up for that next role, for that next segment of my life, or whatever it is. And sometimes it means I'm saying no. Sometimes it means I'm missing out. Sometimes it means I'm not able to be there. But then when I do show up, I'm even better than normal. And I want you to think about that as you move on with your week, and as you definitely lean in and listen to yourself and others. And if they're not worthy of your time, if they're taking too much energy, or if you simply just can't fit it in, it's okay to skip it for the week. Last week, this wasn't the only thing I missed. I missed some meetings with my network marketing teams. I had to take a break from it. I had too much to do in order to catch up. Now, I probably didn't need to launch my weight loss challenge and my workshop last week as well, especially with the weight of having my taxes due. But the weight loss challenge, it's Bring Into Action is what it's called. So I really needs to start in June so it can be done in the middle of July. So the fall one, or the summer one, can start at the right time. So you see how it all kind of works together? Sometimes we don't slow down enough to plan ahead. We don't. We're doing. We're constantly in do mode, especially people that are listening to this. So this leads to my last and final point of exciting news. I've shared this with you before about guest speakers, but I actually have been interviewing some people and love the feedback and the conversations and the comments we've been having that I am very much looking forward to bringing them onto the show with you. We are talking about other women, different stages of lives, who are really going to be sharing their experience about achieving time freedom, elevating their energy, and elevating their finances. So, especially in the areas of meals, mindset, movement, and money. And it could be a 70-year-old, it could be a 30-year-old. I am bringing in a bunch of people where I can relate to, you can relate to, and they're going to help upgrade and elevate your life. I'm not sure yet the timeline. I'm still doing the interviews, and then we're going to be starting to do the podcast. But they're going to be live podcasts. We're going to go live, Q&A sessions, and it's going to be fantastic to hear where their stories have ended, from where they begun to where their stories have ended. And I'm so excited to share this with all of you. So let's get into today's show. No further ado. I've taken 10 minutes of your time with some exciting announcements, a little bit of mindful moments, a little bit of news and discovery. Today, I wanted to share with you how to manifest more. And it starts with a story. It always starts with a story. I'm full of stories. I'm a storyteller. Yes, it's meant to make you laugh. So yesterday, first of all, over the weekend, so it's a 2-day weekend, right? Just typical weekend. I actually had Friday off from my day job, but I ended up working so much in my business that I worked until 10:30 at night. And then I had the workshop Saturday morning. So Saturday afternoon, I wasn't even done the workshop, and my oldest daughter was messaging me saying, when are you going to come in and pick up Hudson? So I whip over, I pick up Hudson. Now, I don't know when the last time any of you were working or hanging out with or spending quality time with an active 1-year-old. There's nothing else you can do. Honest to goodness. I don't know. I mean, yes, I made dinner on Saturday, but really there's not much else you can do with a little one roaming around. And he was a handful. And I'm being perfectly honest. He stood in the bath because he would not sit. He kept on throwing everything on the floor. And it's been so long since I've been there, but this is part of his experience, right? This is part of him learning and growing. So finally he settles his cute little face and we get him down to sleep. And, Sunday morning, wake up, and again, you've got the busyness, the chaos, the entertainment, the life, the joy of a 1-year-old. And then I dropped him off at his mom's. I get a little bit of my running around done, and I come home and I start what I want to get done around the house. Tony does the same thing. He does grocery shopping, come back, and settles into the house and gets his chores done. And these are self-inflicted chores. We don't give each other a honey-do list. I can't dig the way some of these bigger plants needed to be dug. So, he helped me with a few of those jobs, but the majority of it, we each did our own little thing yesterday. And amazingly enough, we took 2 different directions, which is why I'm sharing this. He went through his day almost rushing, as if he had to get these things done or they wouldn't get done and they needed to get done now. Okay, and that wasn't quite, he still took a couple breaks and relaxed. And I used to be like that. I floated through my day. And what I mean by that is I bought flowers, I bought dirt, I got all of the gardening complete, all around the back of the fence, the side of the fence. I weeded the gardens. I probably spent 6 hours in the gardens. I was filthy, dirty, but here's what was different. I slowed down. I was listening to an audiobook. I had some waters, and I actually decided to drink a little bit of Clamato, and I really was in the moment. I actually finished a full book yesterday in my audiobook. It was a good book. It was the 4-week, what was it called? Anyways, it was a good book, good quick read, a 1-hour read, a 1-hour listen, the 4-year career. And anybody that's into network marketing, which you all know is part of my elevated finance plan, because I do believe in multiple streams of income. You've heard me talk about this. So it was a great read, and I had a good takeaway. And I actually started another audiobook, which I almost didn't want to put down. And what is this one called? Do Less. Really, really good as well. But I was entertaining myself as I was getting the work done. And my thought process was completely different. I came into the house, and near probably 5:30, about 5:30, I came in for about 2 hours and did meal prep. Maybe it was 5 o'clock. Maybe it was 4:30. Anyways, right around there, it was probably 5 o'clock where I came in, because I ended up doing about 2 hours of meal prep, of getting dinner ready, and then I only had a little bit to finish off after we ate. So, yes, in a way, this is something I have to do. Of course, I have to meal prep so we have our foods ready for the week. I have to prep dinner so we're able to eat dinner. Gardening, I don't have to do that. But here's the difference. My mindset made the difference. I am very, very, very thankful for absolutely everything that we have in our life. I am thankful that I have dirt so I can make pretty and make a garden, whether it's a vegetable garden or a flower garden. I am thankful that we have a home to live in. Every single thing that I have asked for in my life, the life I've created today, is based on every single thing I've thought of in the past. Every single thing I've wanted in the past is the life I have now. If I'm not thankful for that, I'm not going to manifest more. So when there's dishes to be done, when there's laundry to be done, I'm actually thankful. What I say is I'm thankful that I have clothes to wear. I am thankful that I am able to wash them. And I am thankful that I am physically able to fold them and do the laundry and put them away. I am thankful that I have dishes to wash, because it means we had food to eat. And the more you can appreciate and be thankful for what you do have, because this is a life that you have created. This is a life that you wanted, that you have manifested already. Everything that you have done up until right now has brought you to where you are today. So when you go in with appreciation and gratitude, and when you love what you have, you are going to bring in more gratitude, more appreciation, more love. And that's going to be in the direction of what your future wants. So once you start to really lean in and appreciate what it is that you have, you're going to manifest more. And there's 10 steps I wanted to share about manifesting the next level. So every moment we're conscious, we're creating. We're creating with different thoughts. Whether we accept it or not, we're always co-creating with the universe. Our beliefs, our attitudes, the actions we take, the lens of which we look at life is all a part of the creation process. The movie The Secret, which was made, it's a manifesting movie. It's really helped so many people. And there are different books by Gabrielle Bernstein as well. I was looking for one of them today, and I think I lent it out, and I can't find it. But she has 4 good points on there, and they're phenomenal. Thank your body. Okay, here it is. Forgive yourself, accept yourself, thank yourself, love yourself. When you do those 4 things, and it doesn't have to be yourself, but this is how you can move to the next level. So forgive yourself for anything that you have done that might not be right, or forgive yourself for the way you love your body. Maybe you don't love your body enough. Maybe you're manifesting an amazing physique, but it starts with forgiving yourself for any negative thoughts that you have about your body. My midsection, it's not as flat as I'd like it to be. I'm going to be very specific here. I've had 3 kids. I've had some energies. I've had some injuries. I've had some stress and life, right? In between my perimenopausal and menopausal moments. So yeah, sure, it's not huge, but it's not as small as I would like it to be. I give my belly lots of love. I love my body. I forgive myself for bad choices that I may not have made in the right moment. And I am very thankful for myself. And I accept the person who I am. And I love myself. Okay, and this is the same thing that you can do to other people to help you move forward in life. You can thank them for the experience. You can forgive them, and you can forgive yourself for all action that happened, whether it worked out or didn't work out, whether it was negative or heavy. You played a role in that, whether you accept that or not. Love them for the experience and the lessons that they've taught you. And be thankful. So, again, you ready? Forgive, accept, thank, and love. I'm going to say it one more time. Just forgive, accept, thank, and love. So, why are these 4 components so important when it comes to manifesting? And I'm not asking you to call your ex-husband and forgive him. You can write this on a letter and you can burn it. You can just go through a mental conversation and forgive him or her, if it's a female, whichever, and let them know that mentally that, you forgive them for any wrongdoings, and you forgive yourself at the same time for participating in that. Or you forgive them for what may or may not have happened when something else needed to happen. Accept for what it is. It didn't work out, and that's okay. Accept them for who they are. You fell in love with them for a reason. Thank them for all of the lessons that you've learned. I have done this exercise more than once, just so you know. And love yourself for not making a bad decision. Love them. Send them love. They were a part of your life at one point, and I'm choosing an ex because, I have 2. And we can get crippled with our stories. We can get crippled with the fact that, I made a bad decision. I'm never going to make a good decision again. I don't trust. I don't love. I don't do this. I don't do that. I'm not worth it. All men suck, or all women suck, or they're gold diggers, or we've heard these before. I'm not making this crap up. Okay. And I've had 2 ex-husbands, and I don't want that to be my story. I've had a company close last year. I chose to close it so I didn't get further into debt, but I didn't want that to be my story. So I paused, pivoted, and proceed. The only way you can do that, my friends, the only way you can upgrade and elevate your life is by these 4 activities right here. And this is going to help you manifest differently. This is going to help you forgive yourself, love yourself, accept yourself, and thank yourself, so you're ready to move on to that next chapter of your life. So the movie The Secret really helped make manifesting popular. Many people have achieved magnificent results by visualizing, which is vision boards, things like that, and by using some of the techniques discussed in the movie. Yet some express difficulty even visualizing a positive outcome where they stand, and that's where this exercise is going to help. I've been around both kinds of people, and Tony and I are completely different, but we're both getting similar results. I can't say one way is easier or harder than the other. We've talked about this before. We've taken different paths, but we both showed up at the exact same point in our life. He's never been married. I've been married twice. We are now sweethearts. We call each other spouses, but it doesn't make one way right, one way wrong by any means. There's no right or wrong here because we've both ended up at the same place. This is the journey that each one of us took. So it doesn't make anything right or wrong, and it doesn't matter if our journey was enjoyable or not. We both have different experiences. And when you start looking at the world differently besides right or wrong, easy or hard, fast or slow, it changes your thoughts, and your thoughts change your outcome. So I have seen this with different kinds of people, and I know I've been in different situations myself. My personal experience and extensive research on manifesting, I have seen things on my vision board come true. It is very exciting for me to know what the next step is going to be, and I might not even know what it is yet. I have some ideas. I have some plans. I've got some works with more books, by the way, more books. I've got another one coming soon, and that one is called, believe it or not, it's another collaboration, and it's called Pause, Pivot, Proceed. And it was how the positives of COVID had changed my life. Very excited about that, and I am speaking with the publisher about 3 other books. Super excited to share those as they come to fruition a little bit more. But leaving a legacy is important to me. So that is part of what I'm manifesting right now. Plus, that is going to help me elevate my finances and achieve time freedom, which means I have more time to balance my energy a little bit, right? So I've put together 10 different ideas that can help you speed up your manifesting process. Plant these ideas in your mind and let them grow into giant trees of consciousness, okay? And write them down and work on them and see what's different for you and how they work for you. And very ironically, I just looked at my phone and it said 2222. So 22 minutes and 22 seconds that I've been sharing a little bit of storytelling with you and some of my experiences with you. So interesting, because I'm always intuitive with numbers and animals and songs that come on and messages in different ways. I've learned to lean into that. It didn't work for everybody. It works for me. When I had people in my life that made fun of me for owning who I am, they weren't the right people. And I'm so thankful they're not my biggest cheerleader right now. And they're I'm no longer holding space for them in my life. I'm no longer sharing my energy with them or my house or my dreams or my goals. They played a role in my life, and that role was to help me be a better person. By that, I mean a better person to myself. Just because I wasn't a fit doesn't mean there was anything wrong with me. And I've learned that by forgiving, by accepting, by being thankful, and by loving. Okay, you ready? 10 steps. Here we go. Give yourself permission to want what you want. Life can be hard. We don't have to be in a vicious cycle all the time of being on that hamster wheel. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's something up there that you want. So we decide what we deserve. No one else does. So if you want to open up a glass blowing studio in Costa Rica, don't wait for someone to give you permission. Give yourself permission. Start taking action. Start visualizing that and see what you attract. On every single phone call I have with somebody, I ask myself, what am I going to learn from this conversation? How is this going to help me get towards my dreams? And there's always an answer. Always an answer. Even if I don't see it right away, there's always an answer. I don't believe that we can be given such a huge capacity to feel and then be told not what we can't do. So desire is the reason we have to do anything. And if we don't have that desire, then it's not yours to have. So give yourself permission to want what you want out of life. That's how you're designed to live. Be ready? Be really willing to receive. This one's a bit of a tongue twister. It's easier for me to have it written down on my paper than it is for me to, and I don't use notes very often, but I take, sometimes I write down points that I wanted to talk about, and be really be really willing to receive. Tongue twister. You might think, oh, of course I want to receive it. I'm asking for it, right? But are you really? Are you open enough? Truthfully, it doesn't mean that you're willing to receive it into your life, into your heart, and into your body. Look for and challenge your limiting beliefs that could prevent you from being open to receiving what you desire. The best way to do this, honestly, is to go to my website, so freshapproachfitness.ca/ask Sonia. You want to do the Kinda Curious quiz in there. I will get back to you, I promise. I will get back to you with a comprehensive report, and we will take some time to go over this, all at no charge, and I will help you understand what your limiting beliefs are and where you're holding yourself back. You will be surprised, very surprised as to where you're at with it. So one way to accomplish this is by taking your dream all the way to the end. What does your dream look like if you're visualizing? Yes, I can help you with that kind of curious as well, but outside of that, what does your dream look like? What does it feel like? What is the energy? Bring it to your highest potential and add as many outlets as you can to it, as many elements, as many thoughts, as many feelings. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add those feelings into your life in other ways, so you know what it is that you're feeling for. So remember how I said earlier, I was out in the garden all day yesterday. I was quote unquote working, but I had set myself up in a way where I didn't feel like I was working. I didn't feel like I was rushing. I didn't feel like I had to do it, because that flow is how I want to live my life. I don't want to hustle anymore. You've heard me say this. It's not a part of my vocabulary. As far as I'm concerned, hustling means scarcity, and that's no longer part of my story. So other people can hustle, but I'm not feeding into it. No, I'm absolutely not feeding into hustling. And hustling or scarcity does not just mean money. It means time for me. It means energy for me. Scarcity is more than just financial currency. It's other currencies. So think about that. When you are on your way to be ready, to be willing to receive, we talked about taking that dream all the way to the end and bringing in those energies and feelings that you want to feel then, but you want to start bringing them into your life now. And is that through essential oils? It's part of my day. Essential oils are part of my day. Candles are part of my day in a clear candle holder. Colors, crayons, pencil crayons. In the summertime now, you can see on my desk, well, you can't see it, but I have a pink rose on my desk in a wine glass that a girlfriend gave me. It says surviving quarantine one glass at a time. And I have my rose in here, and I have this set up where I can enjoy the things that make me feel good while I'm actually working all day. It helps me remind myself when I'm staring at the candle that's glowing what I'm looking for in life, or when I'm feeling the sense of the essential oils, how I want things to smell, or how light, or how I want those feelings. And the flowers are just simple beauty, simple pleasures. So think of how you can add those feelings and energies that you want when you're willing to receive into your day-to-day life now. Let it see how far it'll take you, but don't be surprised if it changes. Okay? It's going to change. The closer you get to your goal, a bigger goal is going to show up. My goal for the last couple of years has been to write a book and to do podcasts. And look where I'm at. I'm writing a book. I'm doing podcasts. So now it's like, well, what's next? You all heard me say that my coffee cup analogy has led to the cottage life. Okay. Maybe now that I've got these things, these forms done, ways of making me money, ways of reaching out to more people, ways of helping people elevate and uplift their life as I'm doing the same for myself. Now maybe the next step is to lean in a little bit more into my network marketing or other passive and residual income so I can have that time freedom. I don't know yet, but I'm willing to receive the message. I'm willing to go in that direction. We all know that I want that cottage life. It might not be now, and I can't believe this. I'm not in a rush to get there. I know what I want. I know there's other priorities at the moment. I'm not in a rush to get there. That for me is a huge shift. I'm not going to hurry up and search for it. When it shows up, I am ready to receive it. When that perfect cottage shows up about 45 minutes from where I live, I am ready to receive it. Now is not the time. Maybe it'll show up tomorrow. Maybe somebody's going to hear this message and say, Sonia, it's right here. We found it. This lake house that you want, here is your hidden gem. It will show up in my life. Because when I go back and think, every single thing I have wanted, this life I've created, I have manifested, and I believe it. So let's go back to this for 1 second here. Really let yourself go far in that daydream. If it means putting a candle on your desk, if you're making calls and you're gazing into that candle so you can daydream a little bit about a feeling or a scent or that campfire or what it looks like for you, let yourself go there and see what happens. Third point, be willing to doubt your doubts. The truth is, the universe is being managed while we're watching TV, while we're shopping, while we're making love, or while we're mowing the lawn. The universe is doing its thing. There are so many things in the universe that work perfectly without us doing anything about it. We're not in charge of the weather, the sky, the ocean, the earthquakes. Yet we are gullible enough not to believe in miracles. I believe in miracles. I believe in miracles that so much every single day when I write down my to-do plan for the day. It's not called to-do, just so you know, mine's called an action plan. And whenever I speak to people, I actually write down on the top of my list my magic and miracle opportunities. Because that's how I see everything, as magic and miracles. And that's a new mindset shift, and it has worked amazingly. The only limits are in our minds, by the way. Our conditioned human minds, the way we've been taught, the way we've learned, the way we have been raised, the way society teaches us that we need to do things, the way we were judged. Just accepting this idea and reminding yourself of this fact will consistently help you wave away your doubts. If you believe in yourself enough and be willing to doubt your doubts, because other people are going to doubt them, other people are going to doubt your dreams. All you have to do is doubt your doubts. You believe in yourself. Things are happening behind the scenes to make it happen. They absolutely are. Pick and choose who you share your dreams with. I said this earlier. There are some people in my life I no longer share anything with, and that's okay. There was a person yesterday who's near and dear to me who I love very much, and the energy was very negative, and I walked away. For the first time ever, I did not assume any of it. I walked away. It did not affect me. It was not my problem, and I was not going to let it hurt me. That is huge. Huge. So there are people out there whose volunteer gig is to dream crush. And I'm saying this with a smile because they may not even know what they're doing, or they may have given up so much on themselves that they are letting their dreams. They don't want anybody else to have dreams because they didn't have any of their dreams come true because they didn't work on them. For whatever reason, they can't go beyond their own conditioning, those limiting beliefs that they have of what can happen or what cannot happen in their life. They feel like there's nothing that they can do. They go to work each day, they come home, they watch TV, and that's it. That's their life. If you are the kind of person who needs a lot of encouragement and can easily get affected by others' negative comments, be very, very careful with who you share your goals and dreams with and your aspirations, especially when they are at the very beginning. Protect the soil where you plant the seed for your dreams. Protect it, water it, love it. When I was out there watering yesterday, I was very mindful. Yes, I was listening to a book, but I was very mindful of my hands in the dirt and how it felt and where there was clay and where there needed to be more dirt and how it felt to dig. And that's the same thing with your thoughts and your dreams. Don't let other people's hang-ups about what is possible, what is not possible, affect your vision. You don't want any contamination here. If there's clay in your garden, put fresh dirt in there. A good mixture, okay? A good mixture, because that's all you're doing is you're planting seeds. Okay, message number 5. Do your best to keep your vibration up. Here's what real life is all about. We don't feel happy all of the time. Our emotional vibration barometer doesn't always point to optimistic. We all have days like that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google emotional wheel, emotional scale, law of attraction, and you're going to see a whole selection of different energies. And I work with this all the time. If you're ever curious, when I do my coaching, whether it's group or one-on-one, we do work with this emotional vibration scale, and we do a check-in to see where you're at regularly. So if you're feeling low on the happiness scale, compliment a mother for her baby's cute outfit at the grocery store, or visualize and appreciate a pet you adore, or what your future could look like. Develop a practice of stating good things that are true about you to you, even out loud. Remember how we talked about my stomach earlier, right? There's nothing for me not to love. I deserve to love my whole body. My whole body has brought me through 47 amazing years of life, and I am very thankful for that. So I deserve to love every part of my body. It doesn't matter the shape or size. And there is nothing wrong with where it's at right now. Other people might judge it, especially knowing that I'm a coach and a trainer. There's an expectation that I need to be a certain size. Or do I? Who says that? And why is that true? I am the most real trainer you'll ever meet. I am the most real person you'll ever meet. I share my vulnerabilities. I'm authentic. I'm real. That's why I can relate. So, I love my toes. People love homemade lasagna. I am a good friend. Things like that. People love my homemade lasagna. I love my toes. I am a good friend. Say nice things to yourself. Keep your vibration up. Stop counting on other people to do it for you. Honestly, this is where things are really going to shift. And this is one of my biggest takeaways in my relationship with Tony. It's been 3 years strong, and it's been pretty easy because of all of the lessons I've learned in my life. And this is the pivotal point, because I don't count on him for external gratification. This is my biggest takeaway. I count on myself. What if it's a really rough day, though, and everything seems to be going wrong? Then accept it. Allow it to happen. You can feel crappy every once in a while. You can feel tired. You know that tomorrow is just a day away. It's going to get better. The energy of acceptance is much higher than the energy of resistance. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time because it's pivotal. The energy of acceptance is much higher than the energy of resistance. Take inspired action. Number 6. When it comes to doing something to move your dreams along, the golden rule is to take inspired action, meaning staying open and alert to messages you receive from the universe. So not that long ago, I shared with you how I'm open to every single conversation that I have, whether it's through work, whether it's through my personal, whether it's through my business. I might learn something. If I learn something, I can grow. Meaning, I am staying open to any messages I receive. And it might not be direct. It might be very indirect. It might be somebody who suddenly says, hey, you should read this book. And then I read that book and there's a takeaway for me in that book, or a direction that's bringing me closer and closer. That inspired action sometimes comes as unexpected nudge to call up a friend from college, or to be very active in fundraising for nonprofits, or something or maybe put on an old record that brings back a feeling. And now you can have more and more of that feeling in your life. It's nice to have a plan, and by any means utilize plans in your any which way, but don't rely solely on your mind to manifest goodness in your life. Your intuitive guidance, when you're open to hearing it, will move faster than you might imagine. Let yourself be open to receive and take inspired action from those messages. Number 7, strive to rise above jealousy. Somebody's going to be better than you. My dad used to say somebody's better off and somebody's worse off. And I remember that most of my life. Feeling jealous of someone's awesome relationship or their promotion or their new beautiful home is natural and human. But the quicker you move past that, the better for you it is for manifestation. The grass isn't always greener on the other side, my friends. Typically, it isn't greener on the other side at all. The grass is, however, greener where you water it, where you put that time, attention, and love and forgiveness. When we feel jealous, our energy is invested in the scarcity side of abundance. And if you go back to the emotional scale that I suggested that you look up, you're going to see jealousy is completely different from optimism and happiness. It's a lower energy to try to manifest with. If you can think about their happiness and how it affects their positive vibration for the universe. So when I'm saying their main happiness, it's the people that you're trying to emulate. But bring that into your life and manifest your own positive vibration. Find some good aspects in them having what they want. So normally if somebody in your life shows up, let's just say, here's a good example. Let's just say there's 3 or 4 people in your life all of a sudden that are engaged or getting married. And this is something that you want. But more and more people in your life are doing it. They're surrounding you with it. You've got a couple of choices. likely you're going to get a little bit jealous. You're going to be happy for them, but you're going to be a little bit jealous if this is something that you want. If you can move past the jealousy, you're going to continue to attract more and more people that are living the life that you want, and you're going to be able to pick up bits and pieces of what you truly want from there and what it looks like. Okay? You're going to notice what they're doing. You're going to see some of how it's working. They're going to be paving the way for you while they're making their own mistakes. Learn from them. Learn from other people's mistakes. So, yes, you might want to get married, but don't be jealous. Jealousy isn't going to get you what you're looking for. Be happy for them. Watch them. See how it goes and see how it works for you. Change that vibration to happiness and gratitude and send them love. Send them lots of love. Learn from them. All right, use a mantra, this is number 8, to deal with your current less than situation. Remember that small apartment, the dysfunctional relationship, or that physical ailment that might be active in your life right now? It's helped you give birth to new ideas. So I can talk about all 3 of these, small apartment, dysfunctional relationship, and physical ailment, but we're just going to hone in on my ankles But I've had all 3 of those in my life. We've all started an apartment at one point. And dysfunctional relationship, who hasn't had 1 or 2 or a few or whatever? As you can see my hand up and I'm grinning because it's life. And you can learn from them. And you can learn what works and what doesn't work. And that's how it starts. It starts with what doesn't work. Once you come up with what doesn't work, you know what works. It's like dating. It's like a job. Once you have the experiences, you know what works for you and you know what doesn't work. And then you come up with your list of things, even if it's mental, of what you don't want. And you know from there, through process of elimination, what you do want. So, use mantras to open up your consciousness to possibilities. For instance, if you're at a job where you feel underappreciated and inadequately compensated, instead of saying, I hate this job, say something like, I prefer to work at a job where my skills are sorry, I had to take a drink of water, where my skills are verbal and financially rewarded. So if you want to be rewarded for your skills and your actions, I prefer to work for a job where my skills are verbally and financially rewarded. It flips the script a little bit and it helps set your intentions. Instead of, I hate this job, you're going to start hating other things as well. And you're going to start dreading going into work. But I prefer to work at a job where my skills are verbally and financially rewarded. This way, you get to acknowledge the discomfort, but build a more hopeful and open language around it. Trust your soul's path. Number 9. We're almost done, my friends. Trust your soul's path. You are free to want what you want. We talked about this earlier. And it doesn't make you less or more spiritual. Everyone's goal is to be happy on their journey here. Or most people. Some people are content as is. The majority of us are looking for more. So if someone's happy, you're happy. Your happy doesn't have to be the same as my happy. It can be different degrees of happiness. Some people want 5 kids and devote their life to their family. And those people are perfectly happy and fulfilled that way. Some people are destined to make a name for themselves by sharing who they are. Me. But actually, I want it all. I don't want the 5 kids. Well, although blended, we do have 5. But some people don't know what they want. We don't want an anonymous plan that belongs to somebody else. We're here to learn. So consider what it is that you want. What makes you happy? What makes your soul thrive? Even make peace with the idea that marrying a doctor or buying a summer house in the Hamptons may not be your soul's plan. That's okay. That is okay. Just because I'm working for that cottage and that life of achieving time freedom and balanced energy and elevated finances does not mean that's your goal too. Okay, your goal is going to be completely different. Keep this in mind and still what you want. It's okay. Wanting something and being attached to it are not the same thing. Practice trusting in the bigger plan. Okay, lean into that. All right, last step here before we get off the horn, before I end the day, because I do need to start my work job. Do your inner work. Our core beliefs are like the gateway of our experience to life. Many beliefs are formed when we were too young to have the experience base or to know or to even judge if those beliefs are facts. We just know what we know based on what our parents knew, based on what our ancestors knew, based on what society has taught us. We didn't have a choice in the matters we were growing up. But as adults, we have the power to upgrade our belief system and change our lives for the better. Look for outdated limiting beliefs. Again, go do that Kind of Curious quiz, which you can find on my website, www.freshapproachfitness.ca/Ask Sonia. It's called Kind of Curious. It's a great, phenomenal quiz. I invite you to do it and see where your limiting beliefs are. So I encourage you in this exercise to look for outdated limiting beliefs in an area that you could use an upgrade, and that's what I'm going to share with you. Pay attention to your judgments on others and judgments on yourself, especially things like happy couples, rich people, skinny women. We talked about some of this today earlier, right? Do I need to look a certain way as a fitness trainer? I don't believe I do, but I know when I was in the dating spectrum, people judged me for not being a certain shape and size. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me at all. But that was the wrong person for my life if they're going to make comments like that, right? There was something wrong with them and their perspective as to what a trainer needs to look like. So your awareness and your judgments will lead you to what your subconscious is holding. Challenge yourself and clear up these outdated beliefs that you find. Guys, doing all of this work is going to help you manifest more, help you manifest your future, help you create the life that you want. And it's never too early and it's never too late. We all deserve to feel good and to manifest good things that make our path easier, smoother, and more enjoyable, just the way I was working in the garden yesterday and getting some of what needed to get done. We're here to help co-create with the universe. When the universe knows that we are taking action, it's going to support us even more so. That's the same thing when we're spending money on ourselves. That's the same thing when we're investing on up-leveling and elevating our lives. We cannot control everything, but we can develop a new perspective that helps the process to moving along faster. Happy manifesting, my friends. This podcast was a little bit longer than I had originally intended, but I am so glad we did it together. Thank you for being here. Again, any questions, any topics, any suggestions, I am here to support you on your journey, and I look forward to hearing from you. Make it a fantastic day.